I think you guys are gonna love this one. It's a condenser. And she's wearing a fur coat. Stay tuned. Timer flash 7 times. BTU system. You ain't testing, you're guessing. It's me, Mikey Pipes. Did you miss me? I missed you. I love you. And you love me. And you should also love him too, the other Mike. All right, we have new Calgon, that good blue stuff, and we got this condensing unit. Let's see what's going on with it. So the customer's complaint, no, you're gonna take the panels off. The customer's complaint is sometimes the unit screeches, like a very, very loud screeching sound, right? I took the cover off, it's right there, right? And take a look how filthy this thing is. Look at it, filthy. It looks like tumbleweed, right? Is that what it looks like it too, right? It looks like cotton. Dandelion. Dandelion? Wow, look at this stuff. So, screeching sound coming from the outdoor unit. I haven't verified that yet. However, the second thing is that on warmer days is not maintaining temperature. If it's set for 73 or 72, it gets to like 76, 77, 78 degrees. And it's a 5-ton unit for, looks like about a 2,200 square foot house. You know, it's like a mini Taj Mahal. Not this Taj Mahal behind me, right? It's this one. You know, it's small Taj Mahal. So we're gonna take off the access, all the panels. Already got the top off. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna unscrew everything, put it on the bottom, right? And get it done. Stay tuned. We had better luck with this. So we're gonna take off all the panels. We're gonna brush it down, and then we're gonna hit it up with the new bright. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Wow. You know, at first, when I first took off the cover, I was saying that maybe we may be able to clean it from inside out, but nah, not happening. Look at this. Wow, crazy. All right, I got a soft bristle brush. Probably wearing a mask. Don't walk. Got feet. Look at this. You can have some fun too. You can have fun too. Why don't you get the leaf blower? I'm gonna get the leaf blower. Yep, let me get the leaf blower. Team red. You want to keep straight down motions, but if you go across like that, you can damage the coil. I missed not having gloves today. How's the other side?
Oh, bad. Do you think we're gonna have 3 filthy sides and 1 spotless?
What's that?
Would you think we're gonna have 3 filthy sides and 1 spotless?
You know, also, when you're doing service, you know, be a nice guy, be a mensch, and clean out the inside of the condenser. I'm gonna get the vacuum. We're gonna vacuum up this dirt.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a dryer vent nearby.
1.3 CR?
Oh, looks like that's the dryer vent. Crazy. All right, let me go get the vacuum. Nine-day difference. Perfect.
But you won't make that.
All right, let's do a little pre-rinse first. This out of the way. Start from the top, work your way down.
Like it's spraying through and you're still seeing dust somewhere.
Yeah. It's pretty bad. I got it on setting B. See that? Setting B. I like B.
come through.
Yeah.
It's mud, but something's come through. Grab the bottle?
What?
Should I grab the bottle?
Nope. It's good. It's plenty. Halfway, more than enough for one condenser on B setting. You don't want to use too much. Then when you're done, what works for me is I fill this with water, rinse it out. I probably should have cleaned this up first. And while I'm letting the new bright soak into the coil, I'm gonna flush this out just until it empties, all right? Protect this. This is about 80 bucks, this stupid thing right here, right? Rinse it out when you're done with it. All right, now we're gonna rinse this thing down. I'm gonna do you a favor, I'm gonna do time lapse. I wish I could move at that speed of that time lapse. Thumbs up. All right, let's take a brief, quick look. Night and day difference. Night and day difference. And take a look inside. Still got a little bit of residual, the soapy bubbles. And the micro leak detector, right? She's not a leaker, mama. It's not an avian. It's a ream brood. All right. We're gonna put all the covers back on, and then we check temperatures and pressures. Hold on. Sorry. Up a little bit. Cool.
Where'd you leave screws?
The screw's there. That's the top.
Okay.
The top and then the condenser. Yeah, that's everything for the top of the condenser.
By the way, was that screeching noise from the dirt?
It's possible. Like I was explaining to the other woman, you have to correct the... what's that?
My neighbors were coming in, and my nephews, they're walking down the street, they said, this thing is squeaking.
I always correct the obvious first.
Yeah.
So if, like I was explaining to your sister, as I was explaining to her, if the system can't discharge the heat fast enough because it's basically wearing a fur coat,
I saw that.
it's...
My God.
I'm surprised it didn't kill the compressor. You know, it happens. It happens, but... And it explains, it's possible that was the cause. It also explains the reason why the house wasn't cooling, maintaining temperature. It's because the way it works is, you know, the freon or the gas that's in the system takes the heat from inside the house and brings it outside. And if this filthy, like wearing a fur coat.
When I came out and saw that, I said, "You gotta be kidding!" I couldn't believe what was there.
So I have maybe like once a month I see one this bad. But it happens. It's neglect though, but it's lack of maintenance.
You were in here last year?
I haven't been here for the air conditioning in, I don't know, like 9 years.
It can't be because you were here.
For the heating. I was here for the heating.
Oh, and you didn't check that.
I wasn't here.
Do we have to check with the air conditioner?
You should check it annually. Not a bad idea.
Annually, just have to come down
and then, listen, if we come here every year, we don't have to take the thing apart every year. We only take it apart because I had to brush off the fur, basically.
Oh, well,
you saw it. But, you know, normally we take the top... Normally we take the top cover off and we clean from inside out. Because air is moving from outside in. So we don't want to go in this way. We want to go in from the other way and just force it all out. But it was wearing a fur coat.
I saw it. That's what it was. So I could see where that could be it.
Yes.
So if it doesn't work...
We're going to find that now, because now we're going to test the system and the pressures and the refrigerant that's in it, make sure everything's cooling the way it should, and it should. I believe it should, because...
It wasn't bad, because on the whole it did, but some days it was going up to 77.
Yes.
When it was hot outside, so it could go up in the degree, but it should maintain it.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, here are the 4 wires for my condenser. Brown went to the dual capacitor. Yellow also went to the dual capacitor, it went to common. It could also go right there if you wanted to. And the black went to the other side of the contactor. So 110 capacitor. All right, I'm gonna hook up my testo gauges. Oh, at least this one's kind of loose. Push this all to the side. Oh, this one came off too, look at that. Let's hook up the gauges. And then we're gonna refer to the charging chart for this 13 SEER system to make sure she's proper. All right, hoses are hooked up to the 557S testo. And real quickly, we're gonna see that what these pressures are, which are equal, and that equals a temperature. It's 410A. And I'm gonna guess that she's kind of low. This should be higher. I see normally these temperatures equal outdoor ambient temperatures. However, I just washed the condensing coil with cold water, so. All right, let's plug it in. It's gonna take a little while for the system pressures to stabilize. And while doing that, I'm gonna get the Bluetooth pipe temperature clamps. That way I can get my subcool. It's been a few minutes. Let's take a look at those temperatures and pressures. 103 on the suction side, 332 the liquid side. If we refer to our charging chart, right now my outdoor temperature is 73 degrees, so I'm going to go to 75, and it's asking me for my vapor pressure, which is the large service valve, and that is 103. So let's go to 75, trace that down to 103. It's actually the lowest it goes is 105. And that would be my liquid pressure, right? It should be around there, 294, but I'm significantly higher. I'm at the 350. So let's let this, it's gotta sit for a while. Coil is cold, but right now it's not. It should be much lower. So we're gonna let this sit for, you know, maybe 10 minutes and see what's going on. Yeah, look how open I got the 480. But she's not discharging. She's not discharging the heat fast enough. We know the coil is clean. Condenser fan motor is good. Possibly the fan motor is not running fast enough. It's possible. Slowly dropping, but that's very, very high. And my indoor air temperature is 73 degrees. Still high in that pressure. I checked the dual capacitor. It was slightly undervalued. It's a 7010, and it was reading 61 and 9.2. But I changed it anyway, only because it's the original one. And I'm gonna check amperage now and see. Maybe I have a bad compressor. When I turn it off, the system's equal, the pressure balances. So I'm not gonna blame it on the metering device or restriction of the system, because it works. But I don't know. Maybe the fur coat that she was wearing for God knows how long, maybe it did some damage to the compressor.
We don't want to. You said you would extend the warranty. Oh no, yeah, sure.
Fan. And we already know what the compressor is. Let's read the rating plate. No, she's normal. Pulling the right amount of amperage. Design pressure 450, and we're up there. No, it's not too much gas. Something is not right with this picture here. And it's not my metering device. I'm leaning towards damage done to compressor due to fur coat on condensing coil. I'll defer you guys. Let me get your thoughts and feedback. You saw what I removed off this condensing coil. It's been like that for God knows how long. But I was called out here for a screeching sound, and I'm leaning towards a screeching sound. Is the pressure was probably much higher than that, and maybe the compressor was going into internal bypass at high pressure. You know, it's dumping that high pressure onto itself, and hence you're getting that screeching sound, which makes sense. But we're under 450 right now, and it's high. It's high, and my suction side is beer can cold, so it must be good, right? So let's review. Beautiful. Is this 20 by 50? I knew it. I knew it, because I have a 20 by 40, and this is a little bit longer.
I know, but they were going to do it 20 by 40. I like to do lapses, because to make it narrower, which they didn't. I said, and we set up some steps for the kids.
Yeah, very nice.
Have a pool of 20 by 40.
The Mike just asked, where's the pool heater? What you failed to understand is this automatic cover, you never need it even on.
You do need it.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning.
It keeps it on more.
Yeah, but having this cover just absorbs that heat.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the noise. I have some.
Can we do it with my mother there too,
sure,
so she can hear too?
No problem. Thank you.
Ma? Okay, I'm here with the guy, Mr. Punch Doctor. I have no idea.
The best.
You what?
I'm Mike.
Mike. Oh, you're Mike.
I did your boiler.
Yeah, you did our boiler. Okay,
I did your boiler, I don't know about, we converted from oil to gas.
A few years ago.
A few. Just 2012, actually.
The years fly.
Time flies.
The pool was put in when he was a baby.
Wow.
That's how I remember. I held him at the pool when he was this big.
All right, so you want to sit or you want to stand?
I'm better off standing. She's better off standing, okay. Believe it or not.
So
you're welcome to sit if you.
I have some. We'll go over facts of what I saw, what we did, and what I think was the problem before, and what I see as a problem now. I have to tell you this. You know, okay. Pay me for it. The screeching sound.
Yeah.
Is more than likely it's coming from the compressor, which is outside. And when it reaches too high of internal pressure, it has an internal bypass. So basically it'll dump this high pressure, which shouldn't be that high, and put it on the other side of the compressor, and it also makes that screeching sound, like that, right?
That was it.
So I haven't been able to duplicate that today, but more than likely if you're hearing that's the compressor internal, because it has so much pressure, which is not normal, and it's dumping it onto the other side, making the noise. So let's talk about why that was occurring and what may be going on moving forward. There was literally a fur coat on the outdoor unit. Literally. When I saw it, you know, by just shining a light through the grates of the grill on the unit, which then prompted me to take all the covers off. And literally, you probably had maybe, I don't like to exaggerate, but probably about a ½ inch to a ¾ inch of just, not even lint, just like tumbleweed and just dirt and dust, like literally like I just brushed it off, like, and it just fell right to the floor. So we took care of that. Then I acid washed the coil and rinsed it with water. So now I know that the coil, which needs to be clean, is clean. So there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
Okay, good.
We put everything back together. I turn the system on, and I'm seeing this high pressure. Not too high where it's making their screeching sound, but I'm watching it on my gauges that I have, and it pinpoints it. They're digital, so I know to the 10th of a pound. And I'm watching the pressures, and it climbs up, and it gets very, very high. And then it drops down a little bit. And then it gets high, and then it drops down a little bit. So I check certain other components. There's a part outside that gives the compressor and the fan more power to start and run. It's called a dual capacitor. It was slightly undervalued. It's like a 9-volt battery reading 7 volts as a comparison. And it's the original one with the unit. The unit's from 2008, it looked like, so I replaced it. Just preventatively. Also is undervalued, and when it goes completely, you're not gonna, it'll take the fan with it, or it'll take the compressor with it. All right, so I changed that. We plug it back in, watching the pressure, it's still high. I think the damage is permanent. I think because of the fur coat on it. I'm not gonna say I'll be shocked if it continues to screech, but it is cooling, minimally. It's just not getting rid of the heat. It's building up too much internal pressure on that compressor, and it shouldn't. So I think the damage was caused by the fur coat on the condensing coil, and hence now it's just building too much pressure. However, I say it may not come back only because now you don't have the fur coat on it, and if you have it now, it has a method to get rid of the heat. Because without confusing you, the Freon or the Puron, the gas that's in the system, you know, there's a coil inside your attic, there's a coil outside, and this refrigerant, you know, is on this coil. As the hot air goes across it, the Freon absorbs that heat.
This is the one thing we changed.
Yes, the filter.
There's another one.
There's only one filter.
Okay.
So the Freon, I'm just for lack of layman's terms, just better layman's terms, the Freon takes the heat from inside and brings it outside. If that coil outside is filthy, it can't get rid of that heat. And has the pressure, because pressure equals temperature. Okay. So it's cooling better than it was before, but the pressures are still high. And it's been running for probably about 40 minutes with a clean coil, and the pressures are very high. The max operating pressure, I'll just give you some specifics, is 450 PSI. It's at 448.
So let me ask you something. What happens next if things go right?
You replace oh, go ahead.
If things go right, we leave it. If things go wrong,
you're going to need to replace the compressor at a minimum.
Okay, and now what's the chance of this thing lasting this season?
Possible, because I also checked the amperage or the power it draws, and it's normal. Okay. So if it was higher than normal, you may not. On a hot day, it may die then.
Okay. Now, how much does the compressor cost?
I've looked that up. Did I take my little? Yes. Oh, good. All right. So how do you think I did? I explained to the customer what's going on, my theory, the screeching sound, internal high pressure bypass, you know, dumping the high side to the low side of the compressor. Explained to him that it's probably likely caused by, you know, that coat, that fur coat it was wearing, and I think the damage is permanent. Let me get your thoughts and feedback down in the comment section down below. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Support Mikey Pipes. Support me by subscribing. And of course, show love by thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if I deserve it. Thank you so much. Be well. Stay safe. God bless.